Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm coming to y'all tonight to bring y'all some of my latest thoughts on some of the latest news, okay? So, a few things have caught my eye that I want to share with y'all and give y'all my opinion, okay, on, what's going on. So, we have a lot going on, y'all. It is so much going on in the news that all you be doing is just to be like shaking your head. I hope that a lot of us is paying attention to, what is going on. Okay, so I believe that we have a president who is uh, basically, he's just showing himself every day to be a Ku Klux Klan member without their mask on, without the white robe on. And very comfortable, in his disdain and dislike for certain races and certain people from different walks of life, and I just be like, wow, like, are you really serious that this man is being allowed to dictate all this stuff that's going on and all this hatred and dislike for people, you know, different people that's different than him, and that bothers me a lot because we got to remember that we is not, we're not thousands and thousands of years away from, us coming out of slavery and and out of the riots and the marches and the boycotts of the 50s and the 60s. We not, that far removed from that. But yet we allow all this stuff to go on and, we see it and, we don't say anything about it. Like, and it's like, but let a cop, shoot a black man in the middle of the street, handcuffed, then everybody want to rally up and say something. But it's this stuff that's going on every day, it's just killing us, slowly, like, and we okay with it. Because why are we okay with it? Because nobody's standing up. Like, we got some people standing up, but we need everybody involved in this. Like, this thing is getting ready to take us back 200 years, and, just looking at the news and every day, and I'm seeing these people rounding up all these, immigrants, these illegal immigrants, so they calling them, and it's just reminding me that not too long ago, that was us. They might not have been shipping us back to Africa, you know, but they was picking on us. It's like they gotta always have somebody to pick on. Like, why you always gotta have somebody to pick on? Like, leave people alone, and it's just terrible. Then you have all these people that have been convicted, found guilty, convicted, and is serving their time and being pardoned for crimes that is basically against humanity. And they're being forgiven for this, in a way that is unprecedented. And it's really scary. That's what's being allowed. The new rules of the new game that we in. This is a new game, y'all. This is new. And I say new because this is something different. Like, and it's different to have a president basically stand up and say, I hate them people. He said everything, but I hate them for real. He don't gotta say it though. He do not got to say it. He is really targeted in, you know, one class of people. And it's just getting bad because that could be us any minute now. That could be us any minute now. So we got to pay attention. We got to be vigilant. And we got to, stand up for ourselves and stand up for our people, and what's going on is not right. And, I really like trying to find just one of these crazy stories that's going on. And I'm having a hard time, but everything was just in my face a second ago to where I couldn't get rid of it. So we have the latest news with this man we call President-elect Donald Trump, and he wants to do things that is taken away from the everyday struggle of us. Like, and it's a distraction. Like, you mean to tell me you ain't had nothing better to do but pull the FBI out of a FBI job, which is supposed to be so daggone, investigative, and you know how they do the FBI, the feds, you know, onto the street doing the cop's job. You mean to tell me you couldn't even hire nobody to go up in there? You had to pull the FBI out of the FBI office. You got FBI agents walking around the streets of DC. Are you serious, Donald Trump? Like, do you know what you could be doing, what they could be doing? Like, it's like you're almost trying to set us up for something. And I'm trying to figure out what that something is. And I look at this whole history of Donald Trump and how everybody's just bowing down to him, and just allowing him to do this and allowing him to do that. Donald Trump is reminding me of a witch. You hear me? Donald Trump is a warlock. And all his Republicans, candidates, and cabinets is all his minions. Like he is a warlock and a witch. He wants to control everything. Donald Trump wants to control when you take a dump. Donald Trump is in everything that he ain't got no business in. And people keep, he keeps hiding behind the president, elect, which is giving him the authority to commit all these crimes against humanity, because he's for real, he's just as bad as Putin in there. Let the Mexicans tell it and the Venezuelans and all that people that he's deporting and, just uprooting all their lives. He is a terrorist, for real. And, this thing is just deep. Like, I just can't wrap my head around it. Why this is being allowed. And what it's making me believe is that Bernie Sanders said it good as hell today in Plain. He said they are crooks. And they are crooks. So what it is that, when one crook has one thing on another crook, you know, and you got to cover this and cover that up and do this and do that, that creates a whole lot of favorism and favors and stuff amongst these people. And you can look at the Supreme Court and see that that is favors being returned. All these, laws being overturned and stuff. That is unheard of that one president will come in and, get the Supreme Court to, uphold this and uphold that. And then another president can come in and get them to tear down the same Supreme Court, tear down the same stuff that the last one built up. Like it should be, once it become law, it should be law of the land. Like there should be no revisiting of these things, you know. And the fastest they gave the transgenders right, as fast as they snatched them back, and the people in the army and stuff like that, you know, it's deep. Like how you gonna tell me I got this right by the highest court in the land, made it law, and then later on they come back and snatch it back. Like, come on, y'all, wake up because he's doing it to these different people and different races and stuff, you know, and he's doing little, petty things like showing us who he is. He gonna take the picture down of Obama because he must have got tired. I'm tired of looking at this black every day. He put him where he can't look at him no more. So it's upsetting to him that a lot of racists and stuff and different people got as far as they did. That's upsetting to him that a black man was in the White House. Mike took that picture and burnt it. We don't know. We will never know what's going on in that White House. What history's being destroyed, or we don't know. But I do know this is that they are really trying to dictate everything. We was told they even dictate the weather, honey. And I'm like, you can't just dictate the weather. You can't dictate this. Y'all want to dictate everything. Y'all is witches. So we got to call them for what they is. They is witches, honey. And they trying to control us. And they is really hiding behind, you know, they be hiding behind, these government offices and stuff. And all they are is the Ku Klux Klan. They're witches, they're demons. They is all kind of, you know, things. And they're wreaking havoc. And we haven't seen the fruits of their labor yet. We're hearing of it and we're seeing it unfold, but we have not, and I don't mean this in a way, we have not enjoyed the fruits of their labor as of yet. But when that comes, we gonna be in some trouble. So we need to get it together now before it's too late, and we all find ourselves back down south in the field with chains. And I'm serious when I say this. Mm. Oh, oh, that's deep. That is deep. And we ain't gonna be the only ones that's gonna be in chains. It's gonna be other people. It's gonna be damn near all of us. The way that they trying to hook this thing up, stepping on the little people, the ignorant. When I say ignorant, I don't mean dumb. I mean ignorant of things. Ignorance. You know, like I say, like a lot of people that, you know, don't know the game. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the game. And they being clean taken advantage of because they don't know the game. But once you know the game, you can recognize because game recognize game. And these people is vicious or vicious with their craft. And they is just wow. So I need to find a topic. I'm talking about the immigration and the deportation of people and the streets looking like 1950s, and 60s. Only difference is that the brown people that they messing with is the Latinos instead of the African Americans, the black people, um, the Negroes, like, but I'm gonna be a part of that. I'm gonna be a party to that. And I look at all the people that are of Latino descent that is on this ICE thing. Like it's a lot of Latinos that are ICE agents. Like how could y'all be allowing this? Like how could y'all look y'all kids in the face when y'all get home, knowing that y'all just got done tearing up a family that looked just like y'all? Like seriously. And then y'all went into the safe zones and took advantage of the people and still said it was justified. And it wasn't. But I almost died laughing. I said, Penske said, they said, we ain't got nothing to do with that. They said, we ain't had nothing to do with that. We don't know why our truck was on there involved in that. Like people don't want no parts of that. And it's getting ready to get ugly, like this thing that they got going on. And people was getting ready to start standing up. And they're not gonna take that. Like this thing is getting ready to be crazy out here, and you got to pick what side you on. You really gonna have to pick and choose the side that you're gonna jump on. When it's all said and done, when it all hit the fan, because everybody right now is got the same mindset that they had when it was voting time. Well, it don't apply to me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't care. When I tell y'all, it's gonna affect everybody. Even Donald Trump's people that voted for him, they all getting screwed as we speak. And now they get ready, when they stand up, when y'all get ready to see the people that voted for him, when y'all see them turn it up, y'all gonna know it's about to go down. And you gonna have to pick what side you gonna be on. Because this thing is getting crazy. It's getting crazy. And this thing is ugly because the ICE agents is the new Ku Klux Klan. Even it was allowing them to walk around with masks doing what they do. And Trump is something. He gave that girl all that power, and she is cutting up. You hear me? He strategically placed her there. He strategically placed these judges in these offices. You hear me? He did this way before he got in office. All this stuff was getting set up before that man even started running for office. This is way back probably in this Jeffrey Epstein days. They had this thing planned. And you even hear Puffy talk about mom, President Donald Trump, poor party. I'm one of him. I'm like him. I'm one of them. Yeah. This thing is crazy. So then you had the lady victims of Jeffrey Epstein, speaking out against this, and I'm so glad that they did, you know, because I will say this one thing about America, baby, is public opinion rules a lot. So that's why they paying attention to these you know, the the popularity poll of the president and this and that and the Supreme Court and all that, because once that stuff drops to a certain number, honey, things can be done. So pay attention to stuff. Um, just watch, stand up, you know, your opinion matters. It really truly does. Um, they try to show you that your opinion do matter even when it's voting time. When it's time to vote, you know, your opinion matters. Well, I'm here to tell you that your opinion matters well after the voting season is over. Okay, your opinion still matters. And a lot of people don't know that. Okay, so, you know, get with somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. We got to form, form your own little army, you know what I'm saying? And, um, try your best to stand up for right versus wrong. It's not going to be about the law versus the law. It's going to be about right versus wrong. And why do I say that? Because they're making laws that are wrong. And, there once was a law that I or anybody that was from this bloodline that I come from was enslaved. And that was the law. The law. Arrests were made because people that broke that law was arrested and returned back into bondage because that was the law of the land of the time. So don't tell me that all laws is right because they not, you know. So when they pass these laws, we got a right to stand up and say something and protest and let our opinions be heard, you know. So just like, the other day when I was dealing with the situation with budget rent a car. I told them, and they knew I was serious. Cause I'm gonna tell you what they did after they knew I was serious. I said, I'm gonna come down here every damn day with a picket sign and I'm gonna stand outside this store and I'm gonna tell everybody that walk up to this store what you did to me, what y'all did to me. And I said, um, I might not get everybody, but somebody might listen to me, and turn around and go the other way. It might be a few people that do that shit. So that motherfucker thought about that shit, honey. They had me immediately banned from the property. And I told him, I said, I don't give a damn. I said, I stand at the entrance up there. Y'all can't ban me from up there. And I meant that. I meant that. I said, if I don't get no type of leeway that I'm satisfied with, I'm coming back every day. And I meant that. I'm coming back every day until I get what I need to get done. So I don't know what it's going to be, the law that they make that's going to mess with you per se, But I'm only saying when it do come, because it's coming, stand up. Don't just sit down and lay down. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for us. Stand up for other people. Stand up for somebody else. You know. But this thing is getting crazy. Only thing I got to tell you, I didn't been able to hit not one good subject like I wanted to about this news thing that been, on my heart about what I'm seeing in the news and stuff. It bothers me because that's like history repeating itself, and it really is. I don't agree with everything, because that we all entitled to our own opinions, so I don't agree, with a lot of people's life, who they are or whatever. I can't judge nobody. Okay. Only thing I can do is, stay in my lane. Okay. So what other people need to do is stay in your own lane. You stay in your lane, you stay in your lane. Be fine. Stay in your lane. Everybody want to be in everybody else's lane. Get out of people's lane. Get out of people's way. Pretty much. Like you be having so many people that be just in the way. Like there wasn't line when they made that up in the way. They some in the way. That nigga in the way. That is for real. Like, oh. So, just watch it because this is really scary. I don't know if y'all are in tune what is going on out here every day is something different. Every day is somebody else being attacked. Every day is this, every day is that. Leave people alone, Donald Trump. Please. All you doing is just barking up the wrong trees. Like, oh, she a mess. Trump is a mess. She is a mess. She is a mess. You be like, girl, girl, go sit down. Sit your 80-something-year-old behind down. You should be asking God for forgiveness of all your mess. And let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. How many people live to 100? Not many. So nigga, Trump, you was on your way out. You should be asking God for forgiveness for all your mess. But all you doing is trying to create a whole bunch of mess. Sit down. Sit your old behind down. Just sit down. I don't care what y'all said about Biden. Biden went out gracefully, if you ask me, because even though, you know, the race wasn't pretty, he still bowed out gracefully. Because I don't believe that Donald Trump would have ever bowed out. Sick, deranged, crazy, illiterate, he would have never bowed down. Never. So sit down. Mm, Just sit down and leave people alone. That's all. Whew. Mm. Now, I don't even know if I'm going to, put this up, but I'll just be having to say stuff.